Number 9 in our series is titled Mountain Ghost, and the notation here is only an excerpt of the full song. But the first part of this song, this first passage, is really good for us to practice rhythm control. You can see with those first 2 lines, almost every single passage is the same. There are 3 beats that are underlined and then 1 beat that is whole. Okay? So we have this kind of running, this walking rhythm all the way through. Because I find that something that happens quite often is when we see something that's underlined in the beginning, we tend to just speed up. And it might not be equal, but it works. But with this one, we really want to make sure each individual half beat is equal to the next. So we have a very much 1 and 2 and 3 and full beat, right? And so you want it to be equal all the way through, not just rush through and change the rhythm, right? We want to have that walking tempo. Okay. Now you will notice in the second line, the second measure, there is something different. We have a 2 followed by a dot, and then we have a 3 that's been underlined twice. Okay. Now think back, every underline cuts the value of the number in half. So if it's underlined once, it turns from a whole beat to a half beat. If it's underlined twice, it turns from a half beat into a quarter beat. Okay, so that ends up really, really fast. So you think if you took a beat and you took it into 2 pieces, you have a 1 end, right? But if we cut it into 4 pieces, we have a 1, part of a return, and then just a little bit of that note at the end. So that's where the 3 will be. It'll just be that little bit of a hook at the end of the beat. Okay, so that'll be the only special notation. The dot next to the 2 means add a half beat. But because that's underlined, it also becomes a quarter. So you have a 3/4 beat followed by a quarter beat. 2, 3. Okay? So that'll be the only difference. It'll add a little bit of a bounce to that particular part of the song. Okay? Then we get into the second half and we'll get a little bit higher. But first, let's play through those first 2 lines so you can get a feeling of that kind of walking rhythm. Okay? So the first 2 lines of Mountain Ghost sound like this. Okay, so there are the first 2 lines. Very simple, kind of like this nice, uniform marching sound. Okay, now we get to the final 2 lines, 3 and 4, and you will see everything starts to get a little bit brighter. We start getting that 6, that 5 in the middle register. So we're going to have to kind of sing the note out a little bit, squeeze the embouchure, and get a little bit more pressure. Not too intense, but at least enough power to make sure the note comes through clear. Because again, everything is played in legato, everything is played smooth. Okay, you will notice a few times you will have these inside brackets between numbers that are different. Like in the first one we have 3 and 1, in the third measure we have that again, in the last measure we have 2 and 5. And this more or less means that the volume wants to really match. So those will feel tied together. Okay, and you should hear that as I play through lines 3 and 4. They sound like this. So we can just have that last note at the end, just kind of like a long sustain, just to kind of tie it all together and finish the piece. But there are the 4 lines of Mountain Ghost. It's a very nice, simple track, but it gives you some range, right? Some rhythm development and some middle register sustain. Okay? Now if we play the full piece, it'll sound like this. And there you have it, Mountain Ghost. Support the Ways of Wudang on Patreon and unlock the complete series of video tutorials.